I know there are a lot of other people who, deep under all of the stress, hurt, anxiety, fear, there's a live heart. If Cap and I can help bring that out and help them find that again, then that's what we want to do.
Thanks for watching At Harry's. I'm Harrison Fredericks. Today I'm joined by Chip Price and Cap. We're going to have a long and honest conversation about therapy, about dogs, about humans and their relationship to animals. Chip, what led you to get a therapy dog in the beginning?
Well, Harrison, Cap is my 5th golden retriever. I've had a golden retriever since I was 22 years old, and they've always been a part of my life. But when I first got out of school, my first job was working at a group home for abused and neglected teenagers and children. And summer times were a lot of fun. Kids are all over the place, that kind of thing. Well, my golden retriever would come to work with me. And of course, we would get new kids who were full of anxiety, had been abused, had been in bad situations. This was a new place for them. They didn't understand a lot of things, and they were very horrendously shy and afraid. But very quickly, I found my golden retriever would naturally just bring them out. They soon began to talk to the golden retriever and play with the golden retriever. It was very safe for them, and I thought, there's something to that, because that also gave me the avenue then to connect with them, because their spirit had opened up with the dog. And then, you know, we could build some trust and rapport and begin to have, help them to feel more safe and less anxiety. 5 dogs later, we get to Cap. I had never, though, been tempted to train a therapy dog or to have a therapy dog trained. I never really investigated it until I got Cap. And the reason is because Cap was just a natural. He loves children. They're his favorite. We initially wanted to do that, where we would go to group homes and talk to people and meet kids. So we got trained. We trained through the Alliance for Therapy Dogs. It was during COVID time, so I had all the time in the world to do training with Cap, but it really wasn't training. Everything I asked him to do, he was compliant and he's just a natural. And that's why, you know, I decided to train him. He is made for it. It's his role, you know, God's gift on the earth. And so we went through training. We did their 3 evaluations. Each one had, say, 12 different things he had to demonstrate that he would do. Things like, most of it not getting excited about much. Don't jump up, don't bark at, don't get weird. And as you can see, none of that's a problem with Cap. But part of this found interesting in doing our work, starting off training, I noticed that with children, he was exceptionally gentle. And if a child came up to him and that child is eye level or below, he would sit. That was not part of his training, but he would sit, which disarmed the child, and the child comes closer. But then, even more strange is if they're really small, toddlers even, they want to see the dog. He lays down. Again, that was not taught. That's just, and of course they lay on him, roll around on top of him and poke him in the eye and all of that, but he loves it. He doesn't care. So partly because he's just natural, and partly because I could see the benefit of a dog helping scared children and now scared adults. We go to nursing homes and hospitals and different things as well. Helps people to open their spirit back up, you know.
Is there a reason why golden retrievers specifically? Do they have some sort of special powers compared to other dogs?
They absolutely do. My opinion. Actually, I found out in the Alliance for Therapy Dog. Look, it's national. It's everywhere. They have evaluators and they have different. I don't know what you would call them. Communities, pods, sectors, chapters. You stay. It's okay. Yeah. They have different chapters. Well, there's a chapter in Oklahoma of therapy dogs that only take golden retrievers. They seem to just be the natural fit dog for that kind of work. Now, I don't know why they call them retrievers, to be honest with you. This thing, I mean, I tried to take him dove hunting one time and I did more work than he did. Oh, he'd walk with me, sure. He'd go look, but retrieving, no, not really.
So explain to me why you have a therapy dog for other people, but not for yourself.
Yes. Yes. So, and a lot of people don't recognize this, but in the class of dogs, there are service animals, and those dogs have a particular service. They have a function, a role for the owner. And that comes under a category of like an emotional support animal, a seeing eye animal. But, oh, lost your treat. Okay. But a therapy dog has a different role. The therapy dog is for the purpose of helping others to feel comfortable, helping others to relieve stress. Amazing. We do a lot of therapy meetings, and we go to different therapy institutions. And I know people say this about dogs, but it is amazing to see how he can find the person that needs a friend, and he'll go right to them and he'll sit. That's all he does. He sits in front of them, and then, if they don't pay any attention to him, he'll lay on their feet. And then eventually you look over, they're petting him and he's sleeping like he's doing now. So, yeah.
How often do you get asked if people can touch Cap? Because
All the
typically with therapy dogs,
All
you're
the time.
not supposed to go up to someone's animal. You're not supposed to interact with
Right.
them unless they have permission. So how does that dynamic work when you're out in public with Cap?
So you're exactly right. Happens all the time. Cap goes with me pretty much everywhere. Lowe's, Walmart, whatever. And people they've been trained really well that service dogs, you don't approach, you have to ask. And so when people see his signage here, therapy dog, they naturally think that's a service dog. The distinction is not, clear. They don't know. And so, yeah, they will ask me, but look, there are lots of times, let's be honest, where Cap decides, I'm going to see that person, and I have to ask them, is this okay?
The roles are reversed.
It's really reversed, yes. Yeah, is this okay? Can he come see you? So, yeah.
It seems like we're living in a mental health crisis, not just in America, but around the world, really. I think it kind of was exposed during COVID and the pandemic and like a really difficult time that happened. The mental health crisis, I think, was already there, but some of those issues going on in people's minds kind of were just exposed.
Correct.
During this really crazy moment in history. Do you think that everyone needs therapy?
That's a great question. And it is hyperbole to say that everyone needs therapy. Everyone needs something. Whether you call that therapy, everyone needs love. Everyone needs love. And everyone has experienced what it is to have a misappropriation of love, whether it was a neglect and not having experienced that love, or whether it was experienced in a wrong way. Everyone has experienced a misappropriation of love. So to answer your question, depending on your definition of therapy, yeah, everybody needs something. We've all experienced a vacuum, a lack of what it would be like to be in presence of true and pure love. And without the experience of God, who is love, the Bible says, we will always have a vacuum.
My wife and I have been married for almost 2 years now, and it seems like at least once a month we have a conversation of should we get a dog?
Yes.
Funny enough, she really wants a golden retriever.
Beautiful. Nothing wrong with that.
Should we own a pet? Should everyone own a pet?
No. No, everyone should not own a pet. I can tell you with golden retrievers, if you don't have the time to spend with them on a personal interaction continuously, it really troubles them. You know, of course, there are times where I go to work and Cap can't go with me, or something is happening where Cap can't go with me. He already knows by the time I put on shoes what that day holds. I don't know how. But he's quick to express his displeasure if he knows. In fact, it's really kind of funny. I guess every dog would interact differently, but when he knows he's not going with me, when he knows he's staying home, he will leave and go. If he's going to be outside, he'll go get under a bush, particular bush that he likes. If he's going to be inside, he goes to the very back of the house and gets under the office desk. Doesn't want to interact with me, doesn't want to talk, doesn't want to say goodbye. He's upset. And so you have to have the time. You have to have the ability to interact with them. Other dogs, different breeds, you know, they may have more independence, but not the golden retriever.
So just to recap, you think that everyone needs therapy, but not necessarily everyone needs a pet.
For the pet's sake. Not necessarily for the person. Maybe the person needs a pet. Look, we all need something. We need to be loved, and we need something to love. And dogs are great for that. They're always accepting. They always love you. They'll take you at your very best, and they'll take you at your very worst.
I've had a couple pets in my lifetime. When I was a kid, we had one cat for, the first 6 years of my life, and then we moved across town. Hurricane Katrina happened when I was in 3rd grade, and we got a dog right after Hurricane Katrina happened. We moved into a new house. It was our first time kind of having a dog. Mm-hmm. So there was a little bit of trial and error of how do we do this?
Yeah.
Because cats are very different than dogs.
Oh, very different. Very different.
Unfortunately, that dog got into some things left over from Hurricane Katrina, some debris that was in our back part of our house, and unfortunately got dog cancer. We had to put her down. Her name was Pepper, and it was a really hard thing to go through as a kid.
Terrible.
And also just to kind of come with terms that maybe you're not a dog person. It's okay that dogs are that you don't work well with them. Because our family was always out of the house, so a cat was perfect.
Sure.
I think we just kind of fell in love with cats and that lifestyle that they bring.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're referring to, because they really demand attention, dogs. Yeah, where cats more independent. They'll decide if they want to come see you or not, right, cats? But yeah, dogs seem to demand more attention. They do.
I want to dive a little bit deeper into that sort of pet owner, animal-human dynamic. How important is that social relationship between humans and animals?
Yeah, so for the dog, I think it's very important. They are pack animals. They need some familiarity. They need a family. They do not function well independently. But aren't we as well? In a certain way, we are designed and built for family, for our people. Our best characteristics are things like loyalty and courage and patience and kindness all of those things are very much needed to live in a family, right? Or in a church. And so I think the dog really demonstrates, at least this one, those characteristics and models them for us. Somehow, my IQ may be higher, but his character seems to be so much better than my. He doesn't get road rage. Isn't that right? Yeah.
How much do you love Cap?
Oh, Cap's amazing. I told you he's my fifth one. The last one I had before him. I said that about that. He was my best dog. I'll never be able to replace him. His name was Dig, D-I-G. And Dig died on my birthday. I had to put him down, 8 years old, cancer.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was really difficult. And I said, no, I'll never have another one because I can't, you know. But after a couple of years, whenever I got past wanting to replace Dig and decided, no, if I get a golden retriever, he can be his own dog. He doesn't have to be Dig. And then I brought Cap home actually in one hand, driving the steering wheel, holding the dog in one hand. He was so small. And for me, it's just me and the dog. I live alone. I don't have kids. And he's my buddy. He's my partner. I love him a lot. And he loves me. Right, Cap? No, that wasn't the invitation. We're not through with the interview.
It's really awesome seeing you two on Sunday morning at church. Just the amount of kids, the amount of adults that will come up and interact with both of you. And
He's like Santa Claus.
yeah,
Here come all
he's
the
a
kids.
superstar.
The trouble, though, Harrison, is, for example, last Sunday, I needed to go from the other side of the church, through the foyer, down the hall, you know, to get to a particular spot, to talk to someone. We couldn't make it through the maze.
You guys are celebrities.
We were trying. Well, Cap is a celebrity. I was like, Cap, we gotta go. Cap, we gotta go. Cap, we gotta go. You know. And I've had parents to tell me, and this makes my heart feel warm, but I've had parents to tell me that, you know, kids, they don't always want to go to church. But then the parent will tell them, we're going to see Cap. And that seems to make it okay. Okay, we can go to church. We're going to see Cap. Yeah.
It's so awesome to see just the love and support that you bring to people on a Sunday, even the people that you're meeting outside of church as well. I just think it's a really beautiful thing what you're doing.
So I'll tell you a funny story about that. We go before services start, 7:15. The greeters, the people at the door, the people that are out in the foyer, they meet together and they pray. And they encourage each other. You know, we're the first face of the church. We want to make sure everybody feels welcome. And that's all that's true. And so I'm not part of that team. I'm part of the prayer team, but I go and I pray with them. But I told them, hey, love what y'all do. Glad y'all do all of this. You know, I'm going to help y'all do it. And they were like, yeah, but you cheat. I was like, you daggum right, I cheat. I have the dog. Makes it easy. There's nobody that, you know, I can't talk to, help to feel warm and invited and welcome. Not because I'm great, but the dog introduces himself, you know. So I just tell them, hey, you're new. New people get to give Cap a treat. Right, Cap? Uh-oh.
He's all treats out.
Sometimes.
He's like, this interview's going too long.
Yes.
I love what you said earlier, though, about how everyone needs love. And I think what you're doing with Cap is you're meeting this like psychological and mental desire for love, but your heart behind it is even a spiritual love too.
And that's because, Harrison, because there was a time where I was unloved and there was a time when I was unlovable. And God gave me love when nobody else was there. And so He filled my heart with it. He kept my heart alive. It wasn't too broken. It wasn't too busted. It wasn't too neglected. He kept my heart alive. And for that reason, I know there are a lot of other people who, deep under all of the stress, hurt, anxiety, fear, there's a live heart. There is a live heart. So if Cap and I can help bring that out and help them find that again, then that's what we want to do. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you spending the morning with me, and I just love the work that you're doing. So
Thank
please
you.
keep doing it.
Thank you, Harrison.